Hello, dear parents, moms and dads who are joining us today. Today I'm going to talk about a special term that gives many people epiphanies and that helps you understand what happens when you give birth to a child. You're not only giving birth to a new being, that's your baby, you're also becoming a mom. And that process is called matrescence. It's been used by anthropologists for a long time, but there's somebody named Dr. Alexandra Sachs who made the term quite popular in the last few years through the popular TED Talk, Birth of a Mother, and numerous articles of the same topic. So obviously giving birth to a baby is one of the most demanding things that you will do, but it's not the only process that requires energy from you, right? It's a dramatic event in a woman's life. Giving birth to a new identity is called matrescence, and it can be as demanding as giving birth to a baby. So matrescence has hormonal, physical, and emotional components. It's not unlike adolescence in that regard. And it really requires time and support to fully integrate into a woman's new identity. And so a lack of awareness around this concept has historically led to a lack of support during this developmental shift. So Dr. Sachs describes that this period of life is characterized by changing family dynamics, right? Your relationship with your spouse changes, with your own parents, it changes. You might feel differently about your relationship with your mom and especially, right? There's a period of ambivalence. It involves this juggling act between giving and taking. So you lose control over your body. There's another little human being that demands a lot out of you, and you feel like you may never have time to either eat, pee, or sleep on your own because there's always somebody who demands your body. And so this is kind of the juggle, right? You need to give and take, and many of us don't like to ask for help. Then there's the whole notion of fantasy versus reality. We form these whole ideas about what motherhood could look like, the perfect idea of who we want to be as a mom. But until you have that baby, you don't know what it's going to feel and look like for you, right? So all of that is going to be confronted, and all of that is influenced by our community and culture. And it often contrasts with the reality of having a baby. So that can be disappointing if you have a really idealized view of what motherhood might look like for you. And then of course there's the whole concept of guilt, shame, and the idea of the good enough mother. Many of you here, we strive for perfection, and that can lead to guilt and shame. So understanding the different components of matrescence and the fact that there is discomfort and that it's normal, it can help inform our behaviors despite difficult emotions, right? So I'm curious if the term matrescence shines new light for you in your experience as a mother. Have you heard about it? Have you watched the video by Alexandra Sachs? And let us know, how has your experience of matrescence been? I've talked with moms who learned about the term only years after having their child, and they're like, that's what it was called. And to know that term really normalized the experience for them, right? Because it is such a huge shift. And yet many of us would like to pop that baby out, get out into the world and go, and not acknowledge the big changes that are going on physically, mentally, and emotionally. So some action steps that you can take today with regards to matrescence is watch the video, read the article, and journal a couple of sentences for yourself. Think about your own relationship with your mom. Think about how your identity is shifting, and just love that new part of yourself. Maybe the part that is struggling, the part that might be crying, the part who is sleep deprived, maybe anxious, and where you don't really have a manual for being this new person. You might have been in a manager, director, CEO position in your job, but then when you're a mom, it's a brand new role. You have to grow into it. There's a lot of discomfort. So please give yourself some love and some grace. Find out about the term matrescence. Find out about it on Instagram. Alexandra Sachs has an Instagram feed, and learn about it and normalize the experience for yourself. There's also a term actually called matrescence. So men also go through hormonal changes. In vasopressin and testosterone, and even the lactation hormone that I'm forgetting right now. Apparently, men also have that hormone. So that is fascinating. It's not only women growing that new identity, but fathers as well. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us today for a couple of minutes. Type matrescence if you have heard of the term. If you haven't heard of the term, let us know. I'm curious if this is new for you or if this is familiar. And if there's a mom that you know that could benefit from this advice, then tag her in this video and let her know that we are here to support her. Have a wonderful day, everyone.